All right, guys, so I quickly wanted to show you some of the apps that I use that I look at before I'm going offshore. Usually you could start as much as a few weeks in advance just to get a general idea of when the weather is going to be good. One of the main ones I use is called Wind Finder. It's this red and white one right here. Try to zoom in so you can see it a little better. But that's it. You click on it. It allows you to set your favorites. I've got one for Cape Canaveral buoy, and then 20 nautical miles east of Cape Canaveral are the two that I have set in there. So generally when I'm going offshore, the one I'm going to use is the 20 mile out marker. This one gives you what the information is offshore. So if you take a look at here, what you're looking at, if you see at the top, it kind of shows you, I don't know how good you can see it, but it shows you what the columns are, what they represent. So you've got time, wind, weather, air, and waves. So it goes from Monday the 17th, and this goes, I think a week and a half out, so to the 26th. So about 9 days out. So gives you a good amount of time there. But so I'm planning on going out this week. So I'm sitting here looking at the weather. This is Monday. Anything over 10 knots is going to make for a pretty bad day. So you could see Monday is 21 knots. That's not ideal. 5 to 6 foot over here. Not going Monday. So just cruising down. Don't mind the ads. Tuesday 6 to 8 knots. Not too bad. 3 foot 6 seconds. Might be okay. Wednesday, I'm looking at 6 to 9 knots, still again under 10 knots, not too bad. 1.5 foot at 7 seconds. That looks like it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, 1.5 foot, I'm in a 22 foot boat, so just keep that in mind. My limits may be a little more than somebody else with a 30 foot boat. So Wednesday's looking pretty good. Like I said, anything under 10 knots is going to be better. 10 knots and over, the wind picks up, the waves are crashing, you get white caps, you got water coming over the boat. So it's just anything over 10 knots, I don't even mess around with. If you have a bigger boat, maybe, if you don't mind getting wet. But usually the wind picks up, the intervals are a lot closer together, and it usually is not a good day. So Wednesday's looking pretty good. Another thing to look at on here, again, it shows the wind and wind direction. So wind coming from the south, and then it shows your waves, and it shows the wave direction. So if I'm looking at this, say it was 3 to 4 foot coming from the straight from the east, winds coming from the south, you can kind of pick your direction before you go offshore. Heading straight into those waves is probably not going to be too much fun. So you may want to take an angle northeast or southeast. So if you have any locations or bottom spots or where you want to go, I may recommend going northeast or southeast as opposed to straight east, because you're going to be running right into those waves. So just another way that this is helpful. And then also, if the wind's coming from the south, waves are coming from the south, and you're running south, odds are you're going to get water coming over the front of your boat when you're running into it. So just keep that in mind. Another thing I like to check besides this Wind Finder app is the Cape Canaveral Marine NOAA website. And what I did is I just saved the link to the page on my iPhone. The way that you do that is if you click this little square with the arrow at the bottom here, if you scroll down, you can add it to your home screen, and it adds that link to your home screen. That way, every time you want to look at it, you don't have to go online and search for it and do all that. You can just bookmark it and save it right on your home screen. And this, for my particular location, again, I like to check a couple different areas to make sure they all are saying the same thing. For Wednesday, showing south winds 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet, light chop on the intercoastal waterway. That's pretty consistent with what the other app said. So, when they're both saying the same thing, I feel a little bit better about it. And then on the day of, there's another spot on the NOAA website that shows live up-to-date information. Now on this one, you can see you could actually select the different buoys. If you want to select the one offshore, you could select the one inshore, and it shows you. I'm going to go back to the one offshore just to show you guys. But if you scroll down, it shows you the most recent information. So you got 7, 8, 9, and you got wind speed 23 knots, wave height 5.9, average period 5 seconds. So it's pretty nasty out there right now. But if you're looking at the forecast and then the morning you wake up and you look at this and it's supposed to be 1 to 3 and you look at this and it says there's 5 foot out there, probably not a good day to go. So before you pack up your trailer, lug everything over there, this is kind of a last glimpse at how the day is going to be. So I always recommend checking this before you drive over to the port. It gives you the live information, and generally the weathermen are wrong. So those are the 3 different sources I like to use. And then finally, just the regular weather app. I pull up Cocoa Beach just to see what the forecast is for the day. There in the summer, usually you're going to see 30, 40, 50% chance. And then the day you check it, it's usually coming late in the afternoon. So it is helpful. Same thing, if you come on here in the morning, it shows there's a chance of rain. If you click on the Weather Channel link on the bottom, this is the Weather Channel app. It pulls up the app, and then you can pull up the radar, and it'll show you the future forecast. So usually what I'll do is I'll pull this up, and I think it'll only take me so far into the day, but if I can see around 1 o'clock the storms are going to start rolling in, I plan on coming in before then. So it's very important that you're checking these things out. It's very bad to get caught out in a thunderstorm in the middle of the ocean, and especially when there's lightning and you're in a boat with a metal T-top. So that's pretty much it. I'll share some of these links for the NOAA website that gives you the live information, and also for the daily information. And then the wind finder I find very helpful. And you can plan your trip because it does show you the wave direction and the wind direction. So usually you can choose your destination based on which direction the waves are coming from, how hard the wind's blowing, which way the wind's coming from. And that's about it.